Hey everybody, welcome to Around the Twist, episode 344. It's September 16th, 2018. We're back inside. You're getting me makeup free. We spent the morning at what the twins have affectionately dubbed the Woolly Mammoth Park over in Fort Collins. And shopping, and I was sweaty and gross and didn't have time to shower for a second time today, so you get me like this. And therefore it is too hot out for me to be outside, especially drinking hot coffee. And I had to support my friend Sarah through the Vikings-Packers game because, oh my gosh, that was a nail biter even toward the end. I don't even care about football, and I was like right there with her. Oh, it was awful. But, how you been? It's been a week. We're back. I've got puppies. Daisy, do you want to come be co-host? Come here. Daisy, come here. She's like, you're going to pick me up. I don't want to be picked up. This one, this smelly stinker. Come here. Ready? This thing, she smells. She smells bad. Yeah, you see the ears back because she knows she smells. That she doesn't like being picked up. This one has found stuff to roll in out in the yard, and we don't know what it is. We don't know, but it smells, and she keeps coming in with dead grass all over herself. I don't know why. No, I don't. You want to get down? You can get down. Yes. Run away. So yeah, it's been warm here. We've been trying to get some stuff done, but yeah. Here we go. More coffee. The new San Marco order came in, so I'm drinking Death by Chocolate this week. It's a really good chocolate flavor if you just want straight chocolate coffee. This is a good one. First thing I have on my needles is the stained glass bag. Stained glass bag. Stained glass blanket. Take two. So, I give up. I give up this week, I swear. It's riding around in the giant bag sewn for me by Amy, Froggy Monkey, formerly of the His and Hers podcast. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw some pictures I posted of it. So this ginormous thing, this top row is where I last did any work, and you can tell because I have the Progress Keeper. If it will turn. Sorry, there we go. There we go. Amelia Bella, her little northern star. And I added two this week. I was just yesterday, if I'm being honest. This one is Stumptown Brown, and this one, everything that looks blue is actually purple, so this whole bit here that looks like electric blue is actually like purple. That's better. Dealing with the light, I know I'd rather be outside too. This is Pixie Park, this colorway. So, to get it evened out so that there are 6 hexagons on every side, since I've kind of been building out from that center, I have to turn this and add 6 to this row here. And then I think what I'm going to do is start filling it in to make it a square. And roughly what I have right now, I laid it out on top of hubby's deer blanket. It's a quilt that his aunt made him that's made out of fabric that has deer on it. Again, if you were on Instagram, you saw this. This thing that I was like, yeah, look at it, it's huge. I have 85 centers joined on. Yeah, it's, if you count all the ones I haven't joined yet, it's roughly a quarter of the total finished size that I wanted. And that just kind of deflated me when I saw that and took the wind out of my sails. And I was like, ugh, I knew this was going to be a long-term project, but why? Why? So, I'm keeping going. I found 2 more colors that have been sent to me. I think it was by All Smile when I bought some of the black from her that she had in her stash. So all of the centers, should tell you about it, right? The pattern is Juggling Hexes by Wendy Harbaugh. All of these centers are Blue Moon Fiber Arts, Socks That Rock, lightweight and medium weight. I have a little bit of both. Various colors, just scraps I had left over. And I'm using the Loopy U Solid Series, old Solid Series, in black. to join it on. And I don't know how much of this I have, if I have enough for the whole thing now that I've seen how big it is, how big it's going to have to be. I'm going, I don't know. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I always freak out about stuff and then it turns out fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. I'm using an F hook to crochet these. That's a 3.75 millimeter hook. Let's see, I joined 2 centers. That's 85 total joined. Sorry, just adding to the show notes. I also, last night, I found some stuff, some other colors that I didn't have done yet. So All Smile, when I purchased some of the Solid Series Black from her, sent along some scraps of stuff she had. So one of the 3 I already had, and that was Firebird. Let me see if I can find it on here. Not that it's going to show great for you guys, but this one, this hot pink thing, that's Firebird. So she sent more of that, along with this beigey, it has beige, like a beige, pink, and green, and it's called Soctopus. And then she sent me some of the medium weight Lucky. And I know it's medium weight because the center comes out huge. Although the Soctopus came out about the same size, so maybe I was just really relaxed when I was crocheting last night. So I made 3 each of these colors, and then I realized, oh yeah, the hat I was knitting last week, I can throw some of that in, so I've got that in the bag to make more centers out of. So that's the ball I had left of that, so we'll have some of that as well. But right now, having done one, so I had pulled out 1 center of each of the scraps that my mom had given me, that I'd tried to do at least 3 centers out of, so I could get a mix of everything, make sure at least 1 of each was done. So I had 4 of those left. Yeah, those ones. And I add the 2 colors that I just did last night of All Smile stash, and so I have the 6 that will go across that last row. Ready to go, and then I can start filling in the corners to square it up. It's still going to kind of have a scalloped edge. I'm not going to do half hexagons. I'm not that OCD about it. I say that now, and watch, I'll change my mind in like 2 weeks. As of right now, I'm fine, because it's not terribly pointy or scallopy. That doesn't bother me that much. I mean, if it was like this huge loop in, I'd probably want it. But yeah, it's coming along. I have a long way to go. A long, long way to go, so I'll just keep plugging away at it. Add a few more every week, and we'll see. Second thing I worked on this week, I actually brought down Tara's Muffin Babies sweater thinking I'd worked on it, and I looked and went, no, I didn't. I didn't touch that this week. Why didn't I? You'll see why. Second thing I worked on this week was the Fallen Leaf socks. This is just a pair of plain stockinette top down with a heel flap socks out of this beautiful Fall Leaves sock blank from Gail's Art. There's all the info. It's a superwash merino nylon 75-25 blend. The colorway is called the Fallen. There's all of Gail's info. She's getting ready to drop her Advent calendar series, and I think you only have 2 days left to sign up if you want to get in on that. I don't know what all it entails, but I've been seeing her posts on Instagram. So this, so 72 stitch top down stockinette sock. I had, let me get this smooshed out so you guys can see it. There we go. I put the stitch marker in where I started last week. Got a few rows above where I started the heel flap. So I finished the leg, I did the heel flap, the turn, the gusset, and I'm going out the foot, and it's starting to remind me of like Tequila Sunrise out here. Knitting up on a US 1, a 2.25 millimeter needle, magic loop, if it would stop flipping. There we go. And this was my nursing little education class I had to go to for work on Friday. This went along, and when we've been watching movies and 5:00 in the evenings, this is what has been my go-to thing, because the Muffin Baby sweaters to the point that I have to look at it and concentrate to do the cabling. And so it's not the first thing that I reach for if I need something mindless in the evenings. The other thing, I do have an FO of the week. Unfortunately, it's not here to show you, but that's because it's already been gifted. So I'll show you a picture. This is if you head over to my Ravelry page, you'll see this same picture, my actual personal page that I'll carry out over on Ravelry. This is the sock head for Edith. There it is, all finished. It was the sock head slouch hat by Kelly McClure. I knitted out of the Blue Moon Fiber Arts. Socks That Rock Lightweight in Rama Laba. And I knitted up on a US 3, a 3.25 millimeter needle. Started August 30th, finished it September 11th. Washed it, blocked it. It was still slightly damp, but I wanted to get it to the dietitian that I work with at my new job for her friend, because this weekend she was putting together the basket for her friend of all the goodies to take over to her. And I think she said she's already on her second round of treatments. So I wanted to get this to her sooner rather than later, especially since the weather's, in theory, supposed to cool off. I don't think you need a wool hat when it's 90 plus degrees out, but hospitals are cold. So yeah. So yay for an FO. Finished something. Huzzah. Oh, I didn't bring it out. But for pokey things, the TARDIS scrub top, which I'm going to grab this other bag that I can't remember who made for me. It might have been Amy as well. This exploding TARDIS material. I'm making a scrub top out of it. So, not of this in particular, I just happen to have a bag that is made out of the same material. I pinned my pattern and cut my pattern pieces out. They're all sitting back in there, waiting for me to have time to sew, which hasn't happened recently, but eventually it will get done. I haven't done any cross stitch. I haven't done any spinning. So various and sundry. Sarah is going to be leaving us. She's heading back to Minnesota. Mid to late October-ish. The date's kind of fluid. I have found a new nanny, so yay, no stress. Nice and easy. The kids already know her, and she's very excited to come and work with them and work with us, so yay. On that note, I looked at Sarah yesterday and went, you need to come down to the basement with me and pick out your next pair of socks. And she's like, I picked out 6 skeins the last time. I'm like, yeah, well, you narrowed it down to 2 out of those 6, and I've already knit you both those pairs. Okay, so she came down and she's like, I want something I don't normally do, but then I was kind of throwing things at her, and she loves the purples, but she's like, I have so many purple socks, I need something else. And she found my Into the World stash. So this colorway is the 11th hour. I'm going to take it is the 80-10-10 Superwash Merino, Cashmere, and Nylon, so these are going to be so squishy. It goes from like a deep brown to a tan, kind of into a gray, then into that wonderful glowy blue of the sonic screwdriver, David Tennant's sonic screwdriver, and then into kind of a deeper slate blue at the very end. So these are going to be her next pair of socks. I tried to talk her into Vampires of Venice, but that had too much purple, which she loves purple, but she wanted, like I said, she wanted something different. So those will be her next socks. And they went, oh, I need to find some kind of yarn for hubby's next pair of socks, because I need to get knitting on Christmas socks for him too, or socks for him of some kind. Whether they're done for Christmas or not, I don't know. I'm starting early. It's only September 16th. And she helped me dig through the Socks That Rock bin, and we found Strange Brew. You'll remember the colorway because I knit something. I knit a sweater. I can't remember. What did I knit? It was for the last time I went to Rhinebeck. Hang on. Hang on. I'll find it. I'm gonna find it. I don't have a picture of it. I know that. And that was like 5 or 6 years ago. It was before we moved. It was before we got married. Sorry, guys. It was after I burned it. Sorry. Strange Moon was what I called it. I don't have a picture of it with the project. Moonstruck by A. Karen Elfke. I knit out of this same colorway, but I knit it in the Gaia worsted, which I'm not sure if Blue Moon still has, but this is the Socks That Rock Lightweight. Strange brew. It goes like, it's browns and there's a deep navy blue. It kind of fades to a purple-ish / navy at the other end. The blue down here is more kind of like a teal color, but it's colors, it's manly colors that he can see most of. So that's his next pair of socks. I didn't let him pick. Oh well. He'll get the socks he gets and he better not complain, and I can make him pink if I want to because he can't tell. Yes, Daisy, you weed. Daisy, why did you wee? If you heard a wee, that was Daisy, like excited wee / yawning. Daisy Duke, what? Did you wee? You have very perky ears, Munchkin. Yeah. So the yarns all picked out. Those will be the next 2 pairs of socks on the needles once some other stuff is finished up, namely Tara's sweater. I need to get going on that. I think we've got time for, yeah, like 1 question, maybe 2, from the Any Questions thread. Meme Knits 729 over on Ravelry, who is Melissa, asked, hi Karen, I can't remember if anyone asked this, but did you ever finish your redemption sweater? If so, can you show it to us? The answer is no, I did not. It's sitting in a bag. Let's see, can we see it kind of from here? Yes, a little bit. So right down there, you see that bag? That's not the bag it's in. The bag it's in is behind that bag. It's there. It's that whole thing that a couple of years ago after Tara was getting into everything and pulled it off the needles one morning while I used the bathroom for, 30 seconds, like small toddlers do. I never really picked it back up because I just didn't have the brain space. I'm starting to get back into the brain space and I keep thinking, oh yeah, I should pick that up and finish that sweater for me. All that's left is a teeny little bit of the neckline shaping and the sleeves and then the steeks and the button bands, and that's it. I should just do it. So no, I haven't finished it. Thank you for reminding me about it though, Melissa. Let's do one more. So Race Dog Mom, who is Sally, had a question. Hi, I'd like to ask a question about crafting around toddlers. Last year I quit my office job, yay, to babysit my newborn granddaughter full-time. You were kind enough to answer a question for me last year about knitting for babies. Brady will be 18 months old in a few days and is uber busy around the house. She walked at 7 months and ran at 9. She climbs with every opportunity and talks nonstop, correctly reporting the color of everything she encounters and counting up to 10. Nana will teach her to knit eventually. Until then, I miss being able to knit while watching her. I can knit during her 1.5 hour daily nap, but that's it. If given access to Nana's stitching, she throws, shreds, / mangles, everything. How old were your twins before they started to leave Mama's stitching alone? I understand the attraction to spinning wheels, so many fascinating moving parts. But for knitting projects, do the twins still get into your things? There just isn't enough up in this house for protection. Thanks, Sally. So, Sally, I hate to tell you, that's why I coined the hashtag over on Instagram of Naptime Needleworker, because when the twins were at that age, that's the only time I could knit. They were just too fascinated and they grab the ball of yarn and just run, and I have this string of yarn everywhere. Or, as mentioned, they get into the bag, yank stuff off the needles, or if I didn't have it in a bag and kind of tucked on the shelf behind the couch out of sight, then they'd get into it. They wouldn't so much get into the bags. So like this bag, they wouldn't take it and like unzip it and open it. If I left it open, that was on me. But if I had it zipped, they'd leave it alone. They could grab the bag, tear around with this and whatever. As long as they didn't dunk it in the dog's water dish, I was fine. But if I left something sitting out, it was free game. That's why for the longest time I couldn't get a whole lot done for these shows, because I was only crafting during their nap times. And their nap times could range anywhere from, yeah, an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, up to 3.5 hours. And I never knew what I was going to get. I might pull out my cross stitch and make 5 X's, and that's all I'd get done for the day. Or I'd be able to knit like 2 rounds on a sock, and that was all, until they were put down for bed at night. That was it. And so only when they were sleeping was the only time I'm able to craft. I'm sorry, Grandma, Nana. Your crafting time has just severely been curtailed, because until they're able to entertain themselves, which the twins are kind of in the last year have gotten to that age where I can kind of direct them. And especially this summer, it feels like we can direct them to, hey, can you go put puzzles together? Or can you go do some quiet learning time, so we don't have the TV on all the time, which is kind of how I kept them entertained before. But we've severely cut back on screen time. I know, don't lecture me about screen time, it's awful, but it's gotten better this summer. But until then, until about the last year, like between 3.5 to 4.5, they would still, like, not necessarily grab stuff while I was there, but if I put anything down and walked away from it, they were right there in it. So I'm sorry, you're stuck being a nap time needle worker. Welcome to our ranks, and may the odds be ever in your favor, I guess. It's, yeah, you're gonna have to just keep the stuff put away, because once they're past that baby burrito stage and they're getting into everything, the only time you can really work is when they're napping, unless you have something you can like clip onto a belt loop. They can shove your sock or whatever in really quick, so you have hands free to help them. That's about the best I can tell you. I'm sorry. It's a tough time for knitters, for crafters, anything. It's not, you're not going to have hours and hours and hours of crafting time with a wee one, 18 months. Whew. So hopefully that helps. I'm sorry I didn't get to you until like a month and a half after you posted, but yeah, we're going to wrap it up. I'll see you guys next week, hopefully outside. Hopefully it'll be a bit cooler so I can go outside. And until then, everybody, happy knitting.